Alright, part two to that episode. Like I said, what is the difference between Wayne and Shayla? Nothing. The only reason that Wayne went after Amber was because to get back at Anthony for that $1 million deal that he missed out on that Anthony did not tell him about. Now, as far as Anthony and Piari's conversation, Anthony, you and Wayne are not even on that tit for tat. If anybody tit for tat, is going to be Wayne. Because when you went after Amber, you didn't know at first that the two of them were dating. You didn't find out until later. And you still chose to date her anyway. And you went and you talked to Wayne about that before it went any further than what it was. Even with Rolanda, you went and you talked to Wayne about that prior to that. I think what it is, I think Wayne just wanted to see if he still could get Amber no matter what. But my thing was he was never going to marry her. He was never going to commit to her. It was just sex. And the sad part about it is that's how it is for all of these women. Sarah, Erica, Imani, Ro. It's not about him being committed. It's at the fact that with Wayne is more or less OCD. I mean, obsessive compulsive behavior. He's somebody that just cannot be alone. He got to have somebody around him, meaning women. It's not about him having a bunch of men around him, because you notice that in these skits, Wayne don't have a lot of people around him. But when it comes to being alone, it's more so women. And there are men out there that don't deal with a lot of men like that. They deal more so with women. And don't get me wrong, he's cool with Mike, and he's cool with Arby, and he's cool with Chase, and he met Shania. But you notice Wayne don't hang out with none of them. These skits are no longer about Wayne anymore. It's more so about the other cast members. I think Wayne has slowly distanced himself from their skits. I think it's more or less he's letting Mike and Amber, and that's why you're seeing them more often. They pretty much have taken over these skits. Wayne don't have nothing to do with them no more. Because Wayne is like, he's a comedian. So these type of things, he really don't want nothing to do with. But I think it was just a test for him to go into the Tyler Perry realm, where he starts doing movies. Because y'all know he got a movie that's getting ready to come out. So I think that's the reason he did it. Just to test to see if he could actually pull off what Tyler Perry and what Cat Williams have already done. And I'm all for that. But Wayne only comes when the ratings go down. That's when Wayne comes back. Wayne come back when the ratings start to go down, and he comes back just to bring them up just a little bit. But it doesn't change the fact that you're allowing these actors and these actresses to basically write their own skits, which I think is stupid. Because these are not skits. Y'all, these are not skits. I know y'all want to say, oh, they're skits. No, they're not. I can show you some skits on my channel that would be considered skits. That even though they talk about these particular type of topics, they're also funny. They're hilarious. This ain't that type of thing. That ain't that type of thing at all. But there are skits where you'll look at them, and these are real life situations, but they're done in such a funny way, you can't do nothing but laugh at them. But that ain't the case for these Kountry Wayne skits. These are not laughing matters. These are very serious topics that a lot of people go through every single day. I don't see nothing about them that's funny. And with skits, normally they're funny. These ain't that. This ain't that. I don't know why Wayne just won't go talk to Netflix and see about putting them on an actual TV series or make it into a soap opera. Because that's what this more so is, a soap opera. Even though it's 2 or 3 minutes, it's more so a soap opera. But what people are getting tired of when it comes to these Kountry Wayne skits is they're tired of the redundance. You're seeing the same situations with Amber that you're seeing with Sonny and Jocelyn, because that's what we're seeing when it comes to Sean. We're seeing the Sonny and Jocelyn situation. And I have a feeling that Terry is gonna play a huge part in that when it comes to Sonny and what's the name getting back together. I mean, getting together in the first place. So, like I said, the fact that they won't put Ralphie and Jocelyn together and just let them be together and let them run the business. No, we have Momo and then we got Sean. For what? When both of them gonna get hurt. Because when Sean tells Jocelyn he's no longer interested, he's going after Sonny. Now understand, him and Jocelyn have never had sex. So him going and dating Sonny, it doesn't matter because they never were on that level anyway. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this play out. But do I think that Sonny is intentionally going after Sean? No, I don't. It's just gonna play out a little bit differently because her and Sean have way more in common. And my whole thing is, I do think that Sonny needs to, but Sonny's not picking up on it because she's not thinking nothing of it. But like I said, Sean is interested in Sonny, and I think Terry gonna do something that's gonna bring them two together, and it's just gonna be how are they gonna tell Jocelyn about it. But I think the difference is the way Sonny went and talked to Amber about the truth about Shayla is the same way it's going to be when it comes to Jocelyn. But I really don't think Jocelyn's going to be as upset as everybody thinks she's going to be. Because in the end, the only person she really has feelings for besides Ty is Ralphie. So in the end, yeah, she liked Sean. And yeah, they go out, but to me, what happened to Music Soul Child? 'Cause I thought her and him was starting to have a thing going on. See, that's what I'm saying. They'll start stuff like that and they don't finish it. We ain't seen Music Soul Child in a while. We have not seen her in her other store, the one where she's dressing people. We ain't seen that. It's just like they completely just went away from the fact that she was starting to style celebrities. Why are we not going back to that? Because it was nice to see Jazzy Faye. It was nice to see all these people that she was styling. And the fact that her and Music were on tour. So why didn't they get together? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't really understand what they're doing. And it's so confusing at this point. And then it's like, with Tamara, her and the councilman. And now we find out the councilman got a whole nother girlfriend. See, that's what I'm saying. And then we haven't seen Raquel. We haven't seen Angela. We haven't seen Dom in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I think it's time to just put this Anthony and Amber situation to bed. I think it's time for them just to go their separate ways. We go through the divorce. And like somebody said in one of my comments, they're prolonging these skits way too long. And people are getting irritated. Either they're going to get back together or they're not going to get back together. But either way, we just want this to end. We want it to be over. And that's just pretty much it. So it doesn't really make sense to me either. And I got y'all. I really do. And that's why I said, as these skits progress, we don't know how the ending's going to be. So my perception will always change based upon what they put out there. But that don't mean the other part of what I'm thinking still is not there. It just means that it gives me more to think about. So when it comes to knowledge, intellect, and education, there really is no right or wrong because anything can change when it comes to knowledge in a blink of an eye. It just depends on the situation, who's involved, and that type of thing. But as it progresses, you'll start seeing more truths and more lies. So the first thing is distinguishing what is a lie and what is a truth. And then you can go in and say, you know what, now I see how this is going to play out. So that's just how I feel about the situation, but I get your points. Like I said, I understand all of y'all points. Even if it comes out they decide to change their mind and go that way, won't bother me none. But at the end of the day, I don't think they should go there as far as Anthony not being a child's father. I don't think they should go there. I just think that if they do that, it's not going to make it as interesting and nobody's going to watch it after that. I don't think people going to watch Amber and Anthony get back together because it's going to be too many people going to be pissed off about the fact that they are getting back together. So I don't think that they're going to go that route because people do not want Amber and Anthony. You'd be amazed how many people really do not want Amber and Anthony together. They don't. Especially after him messing with her best friend. Nobody wants to see that. What we want is Shayla just to go crazy and watch everything unravel with Shayla, because